So hey folks, hope you're all well. I'm just doing a wee blast and it is lovely. I've not actually been in a couple of weeks, so I've headed down towards Lanark, but stopped shy of Lanark and done a U-turn. I've got stuff to do, so it's still beautiful. So I've been to the ABR Festival 25 and it was bloody epic, so it was. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I actually caught up in some sleep while I was there and came back feeling pretty refreshed. Well, apart from my legs are hanging off me a week later from all the walking and standing. You know, great times were had. The weather was absolutely sweltering hot, maybe a little too hot for three pasty Scotsmen like me and myself, like Al and Haggis and myself. But no, it was really good. I shudder to think how terrible it would be if it did rain. Hopefully I don't jinx everybody else that's going next year. Me and Haggis have said we're going to have a year off next year. Maybe do something else that weekend. But we'll definitely be back again. If the Well Bad Weekender is a thing in 26, I'll definitely do that. I was actually going to do that this year as well, but on the bike. But it wasn't meant to be, sadly. So I've got about 15 minutes total of footage from the ABR, sadly. I took both my GoPros with me, my drone, 7 power banks, 2 of which are huge, and I only used 1 power bank to recharge my phone, and I didn't film any riding, sadly, which I'll definitely tell you while I'm at the event. So here's some footage of me at the ABR Festival. So it's Saturday morning, took us about 5.5 hours to get down here, and we're up at Ragley Hall here, and this very sexy lady caught my eye, and if you read this, it might blow you away as much as it did me. Richie's first big bike, as it goes.
For me it's not so great. So I thought thinking, okay, maybe all these modern bikes are too heavy for me. Maybe I should, look at older bikes, because they didn't always used to be so big and heavy, right? And then on top of that, a lot of more modern bikes, not all of them of course, but they have so much electronics and they're complicated. And I am in no way a mechanic.
Well, here I am. It's Saturday morning at the ABR Festival, a bit overcast. I'm going out to test ride one of these. So we've just left our camping area there, and I'm just having a walk about. I'm looking for Graham and Al, who are nowhere to be seen. I left them earlier there to go and test ride some bikes, or go and book some test ride for bikes, and I've came back along and I'm out here. But no, quite a lot of cool stuff here. I'm liking it. So I've been up since about 7 this morning, 6:45, something like that. Been awake since 5. Had a great sleep last night, early night and all. It was fabulous. So I'm out just walking about here. I went to try and book some test rides. Try and book some test rides. That's just lovely, that little Volsh rally. Very cool. So I had a look about. Thought Royal Enfield, I'll go and have a shot at one of them. So I queued for about 50 minutes maybe to then get to a point in the queue. This was for the off-road test rides. Got to a certain point in the queue, woman comes up and says, sorry, that's all the slots full. Come back at 11:30 if you want an off-road one, or you can join the road test ride queue. So I've done that, queued there for another 40 minutes or so, 30 minutes maybe, to be told the same, all the slots are full. So I then walked down to BSA, and lovely, absolute beautiful. So I queued there for about 40 minutes or so. Filled in the 2 A4 forms. Didn't know my national insurance number, didn't think that'd be a problem. Think why would they need that anyway? Wouldn't let me test ride it. Wouldn't let me test ride without giving them my national insurance number. Very odd. So I went to Aprilia and Moto Guzzi, and asked them, do I need my national insurance number to take bikes out in a test ride? And they said, yes, you certainly do. So now I'm thinking, national insurance number? They actually wanted that off for people on A4 sheets of paper blown about a one-day site. Alarm bells were ringing for me anyway, so I wasn't willing to give that over. So I had a little read online when I come back, and it turns out it's actually a thing. UK bike dealers may sometimes request your national insurance number to somehow check your identity, that you are who you say you are, and that you don't have any driving convictions. But there's always a but. If you go on the government website, it tells you basically not to give it to anybody other than your employer or HMRC, or possibly if you're applying for a loan, you may have to give it. The reason for not giving it to anybody really is it's possibly the easiest method of identity fraud. Identity fraud, easy for me to say. It's the easiest way for people to get all your details. So they tell you to treat it like your bank details and don't give it out. So it's still a bit bizarre to me, to be honest. Look, it didn't ruin the weekend. I was a bit gutted I didn't get any footage of me riding any bikes, and I didn't actually get to ride any bikes. So that was a bit different from last year, even though I only rode one bike last year, which was an F900 GS Adventure, which I really like actually. Most of the prices have dropped on them quite a bit. So it was still a great weekend. sure if I've been up this road before, but it looked quite appealing. God, can't believe I forgot to tell you this already. Although I have been talking about the ABR, to be fair. Finally, the day has come. The wheels are in motion. And last Friday, this happened. So here we go. It's Friday, the 4th of July, 2025. I just got the keys for this today. So I've dropped one load of empty drums off. Barrels, drums, whatever you want to call them. And I've got a loan of a forklift. Well, I've borrowed, hired, or my dad's actually hired a forklift, mate, that. So I can lift stuff out the van at this end and lift stuff into the van at the other end. So that's all quite good, I'm quite pleased with it. A couple of new toilets installed as well. Not getting in there. Right enough. So I plan to put my big man shed office thing in this back corner here. And hazarding a guess, it'll maybe come up to about here. Don't know if I ever mentioned, I built it blind. I got the guy a few units along to measure the length and the width of these places. Now all the 5 units are all the same dimensions. So then I worked out how far this building here, the toilet block, was, and how far it was from there to there, just by photographs. So at a glance, I think it'll fit. If it doesn't, it's wood, it can be hacked. So I better get this door up. It's not even an electric door. Manual door with a chain you need to pull. So that's already getting tiresome. But not to worry, it's a miserable wet day outside as well. So, rubbish day to be moving stuff. That's the van empty again. That's 4 trips. I've got 12 barrels and 6 of these IBCs. But grateful I hired the forklift. It saves a lot of back breaking stuff. So I'm basically just lifting stuff on at the other end and bringing it along here, which I've just worked out is 2.5 miles exactly from my old work to here. So there you go. So I think I'll call it a day. I've worked out that my big man hut thing will definitely fit. So that's a bonus. These sticky out bits in the walls, they're quite annoying. I know these ones are holding up the roof structure, but these are just annoying. So I'm getting there. So I've got 2 weeks until I'm out the old place. So no great rush. Although tomorrow morning I think I'm just going to start bringing up my big man shed and get that up here. I'll just sit it in this corner out the road till I start the build. So I'm looking forward to that. Cheers! Peace out. Take care. Thanks for watching. Adios. Oh, c'est radio.